We are live. Oh, right, you know.
Yeah. Okay. We can rely on the video working with people and stuff.
Well, the truth is, live alive. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another.
Conversation with Elise.
Mike, turn it down. Yes. Welcome to another conversation with Elise. We are back from vacay. If you saw our last video, you'd have seen us made a blog. So that was our video after coming from vacation. And so we're here again with another live. And as usual, we ask you to register for the live when you click on the like. All right, when you click on the like, it helps the channel to be viewed by other persons. I'm told that the more likes it gets, is the more it is exposed to other persons. So it's important to like the live. Give me a second.
Yes, so like up the video as you enter. Thank you. It helps us a lot. And also, if it's your first time with us, let it not be your last. Subscribe and be a part of the family.
Yes, you should. All right. So, um, how is everybody? It's a nice Sunday. Um, One of the things that kept us away was because of the work schedule that I had. So, though we had some videos on or up, regarding our vacation, which took us 18 years to get back to one, but we give God thanks that we were actually able to have one, and we enjoyed it to the max. And everybody who watched and viewed it, we can attest to the fact that yes, we really enjoyed ourselves, especially the food. Mhm. And
Hallelujah.
so we're here with another conversation, and of course we invite you to come on. We invite you to share your comments. We're hoping to see a lot of our class members who will come on. And as you come on, you can identify yourself. You can say who you are. If you're from outside Jamaica, it doesn't matter. We welcome everyone to another conversation. And of course, we again encourage you to like
Share,
and to subscribe
subscribe.
and tell a friend to tell a friend. That way we can get to 1,000 and beyond subscribers. In fact, we just enjoy ourselves right now. When we get there, we get there. Right? So, but your help is important. All right. So tonight we're going to look at a little topic. Hurting people hurt people. We're not here to say, boy, we're the masters or the most knowledgeable on these subjects, but we are just here to help somebody else to have a conversation that will probably right in time to help somebody go through something or to help somebody overcome something or to reinforce something that you probably knew already. You understand me? I would just say, yeah, you're on the right track. You know. So we know, like in relationships, you have two persons coming from two separate backgrounds, two different experiences. Um, you probably met by the first glance, and you knew that this she was the one or he was the one. You probably met through some friends or maybe at church or you went somewhere, but you met, and you guys hit it off, and so all right, bam, you guys decide that you're going to be my partner for life, and vice versa. But coming together is two separate individuals with different experiences and with different backgrounds. And oftentimes, in those experiences, in those backgrounds, people come with their own luggages, luggages of past failed relationships, luggages of hurt, luggages of abuse. And some people come with just a clean slate, never been through no past stuff, but you come into a relationship because you see the one that you love or you think you love, and that's why courtship is important and so forth. But you come together, and so you hit it off, and then in hitting it off, I need to say that I think I need to say that again, because most relationship generally, especially those one are in church relationships, they don't really go through lengthy courtship or nothing to get to know each other.
I get to the point.
Let us get to the point. No condemnation here because everybody have their own experiences, in the sense that sometimes people just come together and before you know it, you know, they're beneath the sheets. And sometimes going beneath the sheets before getting to know somebody kind of clouds your judgment to wanting to know what this person is really about. Because most of the time, the physical attraction, comes into play and it just covers everything else where you actually need to know. And you only know certain things after a long period of time.
Yeah. So it crowded the judgment, you know, of some things. But as our topic is tonight, as I
Mhm.
said, hurting people hurt people, which it means hurt others. And that is true. So I mean, sometimes we have to break up and if somebody keep hurting you in a particular way, over some things, instead of getting all defensive and retaliate, take the time to look and see what is really the matter. You understand? Especially when the situations don't make sense and the issues don't make sense. Just look a little deeper to see what is happening with this individual, what is happening with him, what is happening with her. Because majority of the times is because individuals they're hurting themselves. And when they start to hurt, when people start to hurt, they lash out, and the truth is that your significant other is the person that is you see mostly and always with you. So who are they have to lash out on someone. So who are they going to lash out on?
And
Your significant other. So sometimes instead of biting back crossly and angrily, especially when it's been repeating for a while. Take a time to look on it and say, instead of saying that, you're mad, you're crazy, you're hot-head, man, you're hot-head. Me learn to not pay you no mind. You need to really pay the person some mind, because the truth is, underneath it all, they're hurting.
and Rowan, as you come on, we want to say a good night.
Yeah. Good night, cuz
We're doing
welcome.
well. We're doing well,
Welcome.
and I hope you are doing well too. Um, those who come on, of course, you can identify yourself and,
As
and,
well.
and as well enjoy the conversation. Yeah. So I kind of set the basis so that everybody comes into a relationship with some sort of issue.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we want to say from the outset is that yes, what we are recommending are things that we would have experienced ourselves, and some of the things that we have heard other persons have
And
gone through,
learn from
right?
friends.
Learn from other persons. One of the when when persons come together, right, and you don't divulge and be honest and open and talk about things before you get beneath the sheets. And I'm being very frank now. If you don't do that, what really happens most of the time is that you don't get to hear the full 100 that everybody got through. And I know it takes some time, but that's why it's important not to get beneath the sheets too quick. Because if you don't spend the time to talk and to have conversation and to know the person, you're only going to know some hurts and some deep hurts for the people where the person have, or some deep things from in the past. You won't know it until after the fact.
Yeah, after some bitter
after some bitter
disagreement
disagreement.
and fights, that
Yeah,
versus if you know of these things,
beforehand.
beforehand, you could have traveled softly around
Right.
some issues and around some circumstances,
Mm-hmm.
because the more knowledge you have, it gives you the power of and the strength of how to deal
And to
with.
handle certain
Right.
situation.
So, I mean, nevertheless, it is not a death sentence that yes, it is happening. Well, sometimes it can be, because sometimes some people say, I'm out of this because you're crazy. Man, you miss Bellevue. So you'll call it that, yeah, it's dead to the relationship, because some people say, I'm not even going to try to figure this out with you. I'm moving on. And sometimes some people miss out on what could have been a beautiful relationship, because I want to believe that people, when they started with each other, they're attracted to each other, they love to
Mm-hmm.
be around each other
It's a
until,
genuine thing.
right, it's a
Mm-hmm.
genuine thing, until the issues pops up. So I would say it shouldn't be a death sentence to the relationship, because to every problem there is a solution.
Yes.
You understand? So, I mean, if you find yourself in a situation wherein you're with somebody, and whether him or her, there comes a time in the relationship where you start to label it hothead. They're hothead. Take the time, look into it, and find out. Because the person can be a very beautiful person when they're calm. But when the situation arises, I say, wait, this come out of the blue. Where does it come from? But the person having issues inside, and the truth is, you're the target, because
No, I can't agree with that. Why would you say you're the target?
those issues have to come out,
Yeah, but
and
you
it
can't say
may,
the
because
person who you're
there
with is the
has to be
target.
a target. Do you spend most of your life with the individual?
No, but I wouldn't
So,
say the person is the target. The person is just a person who gets to see what is really happening. Because when
well,
you say the
maybe,
person is a target,
honestly, it whether it doesn't matter how nicely we put it, it is a target, because
no,
the
but how
there
did
has to
oh
be growth within the individual. They have to get over the issues that
yeah, but
are.
how comes your partner becomes the target? I
That's
mean,
what
I
that's
understand.
what I'm talking about, but
Go
you're
on.
not alone. However, yes, I'm not going to change it. The person becomes and feels as if they are the target, because they're the one who is experiencing all the negative blows that are coming from their significant other, right? Because within that individual, there has to be growth. And before any individual can grow, whatsoever is the sadness and the hurting issues that burden us and cause people to act out of terms, it has to change. You have to grow past it. And in order to grow past it, the issues have to come to the forefront. It has to come to the forefront. And when it comes to the forefront, that is when there is light, that is when there is truth, and that is when healing can take place. Right? And before long, the person that feels like the target is going to realize that, wow, this really have nothing to do with me.
Yeah, but so
You
that's why I
understand?
agree. I disagree with what she said. It cannot be that the person who you're with is a target. The person who you're with will get to see what is happening, but they can't be the target. Because if you're saying the person is the target, you're saying everything that I'm hurting, all my hurt is not being targeted at you.
Yeah, because what have, for instance, say it's you, and I don't
No, real
relate,
reason. Yeah.
but say it is you, since you said you don't believe that person, whether he is the problem, yes or no, he becomes a target, because when the venom and all the negative are coming from that spouse that need to be delivered and need to be healed, it is going somewhere and it's going to hit at an individual.
But do you understand
And
what I'm saying when I say, when you say now that you're the target, it doesn't necessarily, what you're saying is
the
this.
persons will feel like they're the target in
Right,
lots of
but
relationships.
what
They
I'm
will.
saying, the person who is hurting
Yeah.
cannot, it cannot be that the person who you're with becomes the target.
But
Because we're
in lots
saying,
of relationship, it
yeah, but
does,
what I'm
babe.
saying, but what I'm saying is that it cannot be that the person is mentally saying, no, you become my target. No, but
No, that's not. That is
that's what I'm trying to get
no,
out.
no.
That's
The
what I'm,
remember now, the person that is hurting,
yeah.
they honestly feel within their right that I'm going through issues and I can't take it anymore. So
Mm,
they spit venom. The
right.
simplest of things that happen, but
Yeah.
nevertheless, the other individual on the receiving end, they
Feels like the
yeah,
target.
but
Right, but what I'm saying, get to what I'm saying. You couldn't say me the
yes, true.
target.
Yeah.
No, I'm not strange, Michelle. You couldn't say I'm the target.
No, but that wasn't my. Listen,
it's what you say. That's a
I
no. Just for
understand, but
clarity. Just for
however, that
clarity.
was not my point. That was not my subject. It was just a way in speaking
Mm-hmm.
that when that person is hurt, is getting out all that
Yeah.
bitterness, it reflects to the other person that they becomes and feel like the target. That's
Different
what I
thing
was
from you
saying.
saying they are the target is two different
I
things.
didn't say they're the
Yeah,
target.
you said it. You
Okay, well,
said
if I said that, my
that's why I was trying to clarify
mm.
because I said, "Boy, you become the target." I'm saying, "Boy,
Basically, some people become the target, whether you
all
believe
right,
it yes or
all
no, and
right,
want to accept it. And that is why a lot of relationships severed,
yeah,
because the innocent person on the other end
yeah,
that didn't realize that this individual have so many baggage, they
yeah,
become the target of all the venom and the bitterness that they have to experience
mm-hmm,
with the hurting individual or
mm-hmm,
individuals. You understand? And there's some person who cannot see behind it. They cannot take the bear it to look to the issues to help to heal. You understand?
mm-hmm.
They're significant others, so they take themselves out of the equation and
But let me
sever the
ask you a question. Let me
relationship.
ask you a question. Bro. How does the person who is what role does the person who is having the hurt? What role do they play in relation to helping the other person help them?
So, what world they will play? Most of the time, it takes a counselor
Mm-hmm.
for the
Like a
individual,
third party, basically.
for the person who are hurting to see that look, it is not fair for you to keep on spitting out and unloading.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And somebody that you cared about without being honest
Mm-hmm.
and come to the forefront and say, you have been hurt in this way before,
Mm-hmm.
and you acting in a particular way, or even if the person is innocent and not acting in a particular
Mm-hmm.
way, but I feel
Something
this
triggered it.
way when you behave a particular way. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? If they don't come at the forefront and be honest and face and say, I behave like this or I feel like this in certain circumstances, it becomes it becomes like, what would you say now, a repetition of just toxicness. You understand
Toxicity.
that,
Mm-hmm.
right? To the person who are hurting and who's going to stay in that situation until they can, look at it for what it is and be truthful.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes people try to cover up because of pride, which we have
Right.
been down that road already in
Right.
previous videos.
Right.
Pride cover as a multitude of sin.
Mm-hmm.
So for people to help us, we have to help ourselves by accepting what
Yeah, love
is.
covers a multitude of sin, not pride.
Well,
But man, that's what you say.
love, yeah. Well,
Mm-hmm.
that's true. That's
Yeah.
biblical. And you understand, so until we can acknowledge
But
that,
pride
okay,
will
we
pride
fall,
for a fall. Right.
right.
Mm.
So I guess I'm coming from a place.
Mm.
But however, in order for us, our people, we may not us, coming
Yeah, man.
yeah. But
Reason.
at the end of the day, in order for people to get help in those situations, they have to look into themselves and say, what part do I play in this? And how can I be delivered from this? Because some people don't want to be labeled as having a problem.
And as we interject, when you come on, remember to like the live and give a shout out. Yeah,
Yeah.
Rowan. So let's just pause a little. Rowan says, yes, cause I get the way how you're saying it. If that person is venting or taking their frustration out, and the person who have nothing to do with it, I can see how they could become the target.
Yeah.
Right. So, but what I was saying, Ron, is
That's
this.
true. That's
No, man,
true.
and I get it. Because when that's what I'm saying, I didn't ask to irritate, I just had to get for clarity.
Yeah.
Right? Because what I was saying is that you don't want the individual who's hurting now see the honest party as a target, but rather what comes out feels like why they are not being targeted. You understand what I'm saying? So, and then through talking to our wide audience, so I make sure people get an understanding. You don't have the right now to just spew your venom on somebody. You
Bombarding.
understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, everyone, we get your point. So, as you come on and say, like up the live as you join the conversation. So, it is important that honesty comes out at the very outset,
Very, yeah.
and you don't want nothing to cloud the judgment or cover it up. You understand me? The person may look good, the person may kiss good, the person may feel right. You may just blah blah blah
And
blah.
they may be a loving,
And
not to
they,
cut you, a
yeah,
loving
man, it may
person.
just be that they are a loving person. But what is important is for you to spend time to talk it out. And when you talk it out, something that will come up. And as you give time, some of the hurt, some because you may do something. as Michelle said. You may do something that triggers something, right? But if you don't give time, if you look at triggers them come up, you won't know so the hurt you
The
never go
hurt is
on,
there.
right? Or the hurt is there. So when you give yourself time, whatever triggers the hurt come up and you get to talk it out. And the other part of it is that you have to be completely honest with the person. Imagine you're gonna spend your whole life with this person and you
And you're
don't, and
hiding
you're hiding
some
things.
real deep hurt,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, because, and there's a lot of deep hurt out there. Some deep hurt is where, I mean, people can be abused by
Yeah.
loved ones,
Mm-hmm.
and even though, yeah, rape is one, but that's not the only
That's not the
abuse.
only abuse.
There's
Yeah.
mental issues,
Yes.
you know, and there's a lot of them. And there is one wherein there's trust issues. You
Mm-hmm.
understand, wherein maybe your parents weren't there for you, or someone who you trusted weren't
Right.
there for you, or
Right.
someone you feel like someone have used you.
Yeah.
You understand, and it seemed like nobody understand you because as a child you were told to keep quiet, or you were told that your opinion is not of significance. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of hurt that can take place in many forms.
Yes.
And sometimes when we grow up as people and human beings, and we have no, you know, make what would you say, we have an image of ourselves because we have grown to a level past certain situation, and we
Mm-hmm.
know that no one can touch us anymore, no one can hurt us in those
Right.
particular
Right.
way anymore.
Right.
So we make those issues as human beings who are hurt to push certain things to the back of the mind,
Mm-hmm.
and you lock them there and you tell yourself you throw away the key because you know it's of the past. Certain people don't have to know this. You don't
Mm-hmm.
want people to know that okay, you were broken at one point, or you are broken, because you have people who act as if they are healed
Yeah.
when they, as some people would say metaphorical, they put a plaster
Mm-hmm.
over it and throw it in the vault.
Mm-hmm.
But the truth is, what I've come to realize about life is that it doesn't matter if it's 1 year, 5 year, or 10 years. If you were hurt in a particular way and it wasn't properly dealt with,
Yeah.
and you put a plaster over
It's
it,
gonna
and you
resurface.
feel so strong, like I'm past that, I've forgiven everyone, and I'm moving on. But if it wasn't truly dealt with for you to grow past it and get the strength of dealing with it to deal with other issues, it
Yes.
doesn't matter how long it takes. There's going to come a particular time when that tenderness of it is going to be tested and tried. Because once you're trying to grow in your life, all the issues that push emotions out of us and that make up our core are going to be tested.
Yes.
And the ones that you have really gotten over and grow past, when it comes again, you just laugh and it doesn't really matter. But that those significant ones, if that are there, that is thrown, locked in the vault and throw with the key, if they're not dealt with,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to come out at a particular time in life. Most of the time is when you have met somebody who you know in your
Hearts of
heart of
hearts.
heart and soul that this is the one.
Yeah.
Because if this is the one, it means that it's real, it's true. And once truth is there now, you're facing truth, you're living in the light. Whatsoever you thought was buried, and the keys were turned away, because it's truth and it's light, it has to be unveiled, or else you're going to be conflicted.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to feel like you're booming each time you try to go a little further. You're going to hit a wall, and you're going to be conflicted and bombarded. And what is going to happen now? You're going to even act in ways that you yourself don't even want to act. You're going to start behaving ways now that you yourself can't believe it's you.
Yeah.
But is that the truth need to come? It needs to come
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
so it can be dealt with, so you
Yeah.
can continue progress in your life and your relationship.
And Michelle hit a very good point because when you don't bring out the truth, the trueness of where you are and the stuff that you're in, it is only sort of waiting for an explosion. You're basically waiting for explosion. In the sense that you're not just get up on the start, say, say I was abused or whatever. But the truth of the matter is, these are some questions that should have been topics that should have come out, or these are something that should have been said because you want the person who you're with to know. This just happened in my head. Oftentimes people hide them past because them don't want the person who them going to be with to know the truth, and then made it,
And that's what
they may turn them
and
away.
that's what Ron is saying.
Yeah, read it, read it.
As Ron said, that is why I think that going into a relationship, people should talk about their previous relationship
Yes,
so that
going.
going I will know what to do and what not to do. Beautiful.
Excellent. That's what we're
That's
saying.
basically what we're saying.
That's
That's
what we're
true.
saying, right?
That is true.
Um, and that is one way. That is one way to allow the person you're with, or the person you desire to be with. That is one way of allowing them to be a part of the healing process,
Yes.
right? They need to be for example, they need to know that when they see me look a particular way, or if they see me reserved, they need to know what to do, as
Yeah.
Ruan said. They need to know, so okay, all she needs now is just somebody to come and hold her. She don't
Yeah.
need nothing
Or
much.
remove him or her from the atmosphere
Right,
that
right.
they're in.
You understand
And
me?
that is called
And
supporting.
if you want, we can touch a few of those. As Michelle, as I just said, sometimes you just somebody to hold.
Yeah.
Yes? Sometimes it's just for you to just sit there and listen to the person. Sometimes the person wants to just pour out and weep. You just need to just sit there and listen. Sometimes, as Michelle said, you know that you need to just take that person out of that environment,
Yeah.
carry them for a walk,
For
carry them for a
walk.
drive out, carry them got the beach, the seaside, gotta sit down, carry them under one plum tree, whatever. You
Yeah.
understand me? Because most of the times these things come up, and there is sort of a comfort or an antidote to it, and the person who is your partner needs to know that this is what you need to do in the case.
Yeah.
Separate from the part that if there are situations where it's a medical issue, that's
Yeah. That's
that is
different.
a different
Yeah, but
situation.
nevertheless, they still need to get
The support.
the support and help
Yeah.
because it's like if you know that your significant other have been hurt in a relationship by trust being broken,
Yeah.
someone cheat on you and all of that, you know, as a spouse or a significant other, you try to turn away from all every single thing that look that way, that seems that way, as long as it's in your capacity,
Mhm.
you understand, to keep, and when it comes to that subject, to keep on the straight and narrow, you know that okay, this is not an area I should play with. So you know that you cannot be a person that have a flirting spirit
Mhm.
because you know that this seems too familiar to my significant other and it's nowhere shape where I want to hurt him or her.
Mhm.
So you have to take a mental note that it become a part of you to know, say, you know what, I'm gonna play that game.
Mhm.
You understand? So be honest. Be honest with everything, forthcoming with everything. And, before time, it will help the individual even to overcome and to restore trust.
Yeah.
You understand? And even grow to having a level of trust that before time they get past those little, hurt that cause them to be and feeling insecure.
And that brings us into a nice segue into the fact that sometimes person don't necessarily come with hurt, but sometimes hurt develop in a
Within
relationship,
a relationship.
right? And when it develops, I mean, or when it happens rather, when it happens, it requires um, repentance, forgiveness, healing, and reconciliation.
Reconciliation.
And that process may not be one that is done quickly and overnight. That don't happen overnight. It comes with patience, it
Yeah,
comes
that's
with
true.
time, it comes with consideration, and
Mm-hmm.
it comes with changing of one's behavior and
That's true.
application. Um, and what it also requires to is that the person who was hurt, it requires them to open up again.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it requires them opening up again. But the whole mix of it, it requires so much
Mount, yes.
patience.
That's the key,
It
patience.
requires a lot of patience. And the patience is on both sides because you want to be able to, if the person who is the offender is doing their best to fix things, don't expect that the person who you offended is gonna have it's just
Mm-hmm.
gonna quickly forgive and move. Or no, let me not say quickly forgive, but quickly forget. They won't quickly forget. It's a
Yeah.
process, so you have to just give them time. And the person who is the offender now, the person who was offended, have to understand, okay, if the person is making strides, if the person is trying, give them also the patience, give them also the level of credibility, if you want to call it so,
Hi,
to hold
Yvette.
things.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yvette.
Say hi to Yvette. Okay.
Hi, Yvette. Long time. Yeah, good to see you here, man.
Well said.
And thank you, thank you.
Right. So once you're in this situation, both parties have to understand it requires patience on both sides,
Yeah.
right? Because hurting people are
Hurt
gonna hurt
others.
people.
They hurt others.
You understand me?
Sometimes it's deliberate.
Sometimes it's deliberate.
And
So
when,
that's what Michelle was saying about you become the target. I was like saying you can't be the target, but the perspective of which she spoke is about you, the person who is now in the presence or being with that hurting person will feel like they are the target. But really and truly, you're not necessarily are the target, but it coming like you're the target because
yeah,
of what
yeah.
triggered the hurt. You
And the
understand?
person not being healed, the person not getting past
You're
it,
going to get it.
right? While the other significant other maybe say, a long time we've been together, a long
Yeah.
time we are go through this. So when you're gonna learn, and when you're gonna, stop this. But the truth is, the person who is overloaded and being hurt, they have to just fess up and say, I have this issue, I experienced this as a child, or maybe as an adult
Yeah.
before this
Yeah.
relationship, in my
Yeah.
previous relationship. And every time you do this, even though you may not be doing anything wrong, it triggers what
Yeah.
my negative experience was like.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you just want from it means if the person means a lot to you, you just have to invest the time.
Yeah.
Invest the
That
time
is a
and
very solid
right.
point.
And don't be so quick, even though as human being, if you keep going through negative things and you feel rightfully so you have done nothing to deserve it, there you will lose your cool at some point. But even that also, there comes a time that just take a stop and say, you know what? As long as the person means something to you and you want the relationship to go somewhere, look behind it. And sometimes you may just have to take it in hand and say, is it that you have been hurt? You know?
Yes, so sorry for cut you, but that's a solid point. When you say you are the person, you're the spouse who's seen certain behavior, it means don't just take it for granted that she, as Michelle said, you're hot headed or you're just miserable. Have that conversation. Why you behave that way with certain, or why were you behaving that way? There's always a postmortem to every
Every
situation. And
situation.
and the postmortem is to find out what happened, why this happened, or why the person did or whatever. There's always something to find out. So don't just take it for granted that the person miserable or whatever. Have a conversation. Have the conversation to say what happened, what triggered this, and then know you the person who's hurting have to be honest and just speak it out. Because when you speak it out, as we said a while ago, not too long, you give the person an opportunity to know what to do and to be a
Yeah.
part of the healing
And
process. You
just by
understand?
accepting that you're hurting, you're on your way. By
Yes.
just accepting that I'm hurting.
Yes.
And after you have come to realize, I'm hurting, find out where the hurt is coming from. Because some
Hmm.
people say, I don't know why I behave this way. It's just that I just get so cross when you this and get so cross when you that. But I don't believe that's honest.
There is a reason.
Yeah, there
Hmm.
is a reason. And sometimes if we look deep enough, we'll see.
Hmm.
And even as human being, you may not feel like you want to talk about it. And if you find out that the person don't want to talk to it there and then, ease up a little and
Yeah, I learned
reassure,
I learned at the hard way.
ease up a little and reassure the person that look, we're in this together. And I'm not attacking you. If you're hurting, you're
I'm
a
hurting
human
too
being, I'm hurting too, and I want to
because
fix it for you.
we're one.
We're one, and I want to fix it for you, but I cannot help you if you don't open up to me and let me know how best to help you.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
understand? So you have to build that trust. And you may say, but but I've been with him or her so long and him not trust me, she not trust me. It's not that they don't trust you, but there are different levels in trusting. What do I mean is that when it comes to a human being, you feel like you will within yourself sometimes condemn yourself and say, I can't tell nobody about this, and you're the last person that made me want that,
Hmm. Hmm.
about this. But if you can just ease it and say, look, I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to judge.
Yeah, make it comfortable for the person to talk.
Beautiful, that's the word.
Yeah,
Make the person
make it
comfortable
comfortable for them
and
to
let the
talk.
person know that we are one. If you hurt, I hurt.
I mean,
So
my
take
son.
down. So you have to
Sorry.
take down. Sorry, the wall.
Hmm.
Because in relationship, whether we accept it yes or no, no matter how good our relationship is or how rough it is in a relationship, there are walls. And as the year goes by, you learn to pull down certain walls. Because no matter how we think that we're transparent with our significant other, it takes time at times to remove certain walls. You trust the person enough, you show them a part of you show them another depth,
Hmm.
and you show them some more.
Yeah.
However, in all of this, there are some persons who hurt to the core throughout life.
When you
And
say hurt to go throughout life, you mean by throughout life?
everybody don't have it easy
Oh.
in life. Some people go through more, when I call it hurt,
Hmm.
than others. You have some people who may not experience anything too much, and there's some people who experience a lot.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
And over the years that you've been with somebody, it depends how secure you feel before you start to remove the layers that you want to show.
Hmm.
And there are some layers that will just open books because you have gotten so comfortable and so relaxed in your relationship till
Hmm.
you don't even know when you become so free and so open.
Hmm.
But the truth is that we all have to face. You understand? Even
Hmm.
if we don't go through it, or our you may figure or think that your significant other go through it, you have to tread softly around some issues
Yes.
because though you may not experience it, you have to learn to put yourself within the person's
Shoes.
shoes
Right.
to deal with certain situation.
Hmm.
And in doing that now, you have to know how to express to them how how you care and you truly love and feel for them and let them trust you
Yeah. Yeah.
enough, then those big walls and those vaults that are closed can be open. And then I believe that every relationship, man, from you like each other, I believe that from two person like each other
Hmm.
enough and have chemistry and what have you, your relationship can work. It no matter how hurt you may, you understand, as long as you mean each other well.
Hmm.
It's just that, as you said before, Connor, which is through patience. You have to learn to be patient with people. Not because you were in a previous relationship and it was maybe certain things was so easy,
Hmm.
um with the other person you expect, so all right, the same thing must be easy with another person. You have to allow each person to be themselves and get to know them, and what would you say, a pure playing field, by not using past relationships
Yeah.
and experiences
Tomorrow.
to
Tomorrow, your
mar
current
your
one.
current relationship, because every person is different, so every relationship is going to be different, but both of you can mold it to be what you want it to be.
Hmm.
And don't be too hard on yourself. If you find it a little sticky and rough, most of the good things in life, you understand,
Have its
it have
challenges.
its challenges.
Yeah.
So when you really meet that person that you connect with on another level, just both of you just work it out, man. You have issues, but work it out. That's what makes it beautiful and so
That's true.
pure.
Hi, Latoya.
Yeah, hi
Good
Latoya.
to see you.
It's been a
I
while.
spoke to you the week and you honor your word.
And thanks, Yvette.
So,
Thanks.
so Latoya says, true, it takes time to open up. It's just like conversation. You don't just change the minute you baptize. Oh,
Baptized.
conversion rather.
Conversion. It's true.
You meet your baptized, but as time goes, you drop off and put on what's needed. That is true.
That's true, Latoya.
Forgive us quick as possible because the longer you hold on to hurt, the more it heat up and tear you apart.
That's true.
You
That's
grab a
true.
conversation with Lataya. Excellent point, Lataya.
That's true. That's
Excellent point.
true.
And that was one of the point I wanted to raise too. It doesn't make sense to hold on to unforgiveness or hold on to hurt or hold on to something that somebody did you. Um, a part of the healing process we have come to understand is when you have to forgive those who have done it wrong in the past. If you hold on to what they have done in the past, the person in the present going to get it. You understand me? Because you're not able to do to those who did in the past, you're not able to do them nothing. So the person who's in the present now, if you see a glimpse of it, that them all get it.
And they can't make a mistake.
You
It's
understand me?
like,
Every
and that
move,
is
the next
unfair.
move.
That is one of the true barrier of every. I think every relationship that maybe people have gone through other
Mm-hmm.
persons
Mm-hmm.
and have gotten hurt
Yeah.
is like this new person, you better watch, as the old people say, your P's and your Q's. Hey,
And
me not do trust no woman again, you know. It's like you
yeah,
get the
yeah,
rough end of it.
yeah.
So, you know,
I hear of men who say, listen, no, in woman are this, woman are that, and in not treating no woman not nice again because the woman only treat nice, she tear him out apart.
and that's
And,
not
and
fair.
and then now every other woman he meet after that get it from him because him just him not forgive the first one yet, and him just see every woman at the same light. So even if you have the right one come and are treating the way you're supposed, him oh she treat me so nice.
Give bath if
So
you care what, give her bath.
you understand
And,
me?
you know,
So it encapsulates everything. If you intend to have a real healthy relationship, um, expressing and opening up and being honest with a partner is vital and important if you really want to have something that's going to be long lasting.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
right. So the other point I want to make is that whenever arguments come up about this about hurting and so forth, it is necessary that even after, like, both person, let me put it this way, both person have to don't skirt around the issue. Find out hopefully, if the person is honest, you can really find out what the real meat of the matter is, because sometimes what is said to be the matter may not be the
Not be the
matter,
mother.
right? But if you're not honest with yourself and honest
Yeah.
with your spouse, you're not going to be able to get to the real meat of the matter. And when you get to the real meat of the matter, then you realize, say, you know what, this person is here to help me to overcome,
And you're not your enemy.
and you're not your enemy. You understand me? So when we say hurting people hurt people, there's no once somebody's hurting, right? One, they can do it spitefully, and they can do it indirectly. They can do it spitefully because them see something in a you where remind them of them past,
Yeah.
and them gonna just say, all right, you do this, me I do it back to you, right?
And it become tit for tat, and
The-
it damages. That's one of the
That
worst.
is,
Take no. That's one of the worst thing of a relationship. I believe that a lot of good relationships have severed because people start develop this tit for tat. You understand? They move away from whatever, you understand, their core values were. And says, all right, you did this to me and I go on like, all right, me show you so me can do it and don't train in my face. And listen, those things are what I call it. Bullets that kills a relationship.
mm,
It kills it.
yeah, yeah,
Because you step away from the tenderness and start to be defensive.
yeah,
You know, it
yeah.
doesn't really work. It don't
And
work.
and and if you continue along that path, you're surely going to have a
Disastrous
disastrous relationship,
relationship.
or these are another disastrous experience. When we take what we have experienced, especially hurts, when we take it into the next relationship and to the next relationship, all we're doing, we're just creating another scenario. But the time, or when it all comes to a stop, is when you be honest from the get go in the conversations you have to get into know each other. That is where you get to put things out there, and the honesty come out, and you be able to help the person who is hurting. All right, so let's and in our closing though. Say you're living that situation now, you're in it. Right? How do you cope? How do you deal with it? One, I have found out that, listen, if somebody is hurting, you need to know, find a way to, one, not add to the hurt.
So you find out what the hurt is.
Right. Yeah, but suppose you don't know yet. You understand me? Suppose don't want to tell you yet. You have to just give them time.
Yes, patient.
Give them the time. So, for example, if an argument develops and you don't show what is what, just take yourself out of it. Just no matter pursue it, no matter going further with it, just leave it alone and allow the person time to come around, and then know when things calm and cool, you can have a conversation, right? If the person don't want to talk about it, leave them be. If it is that you find somebody who I know someone who's close to them and the person can intervene, you have to then make that wise judgment, because sometimes That may help. Sometimes it may not be the best decision. You understand me? But you have to then find a way if you say, okay, how can I reach my spouse? How can I reach him or her to find out what really the issue is? Because unless you get to the core of the issue, you won't be able to fix it. Do you have any other? I have some more, but you have anything
No,
to say?
not really, because the time, we don't
Yeah.
want the video to be too long.
Yeah, but at
And
the
I
same
think we
time,
have said most of what needs to be said that could help anyone. So basically, just to cap back, as you were saying, exercise patience, don't be so quick to retaliate, and sometimes you have to take on maybe the burden of finding out what the issue is and how to help the person. And if you have tried all of that and all of that has failed, you get a third party who both of you trust and who can help you to get over the hurdle so you can move on and enjoy your life.
all right, that I guess that puts a wrap on it.
I don't know anything
Um,
really.
it's just that at the end of the day, when you when you know when you're in the know that somebody is hurting or somebody's had some hurts in the past, then you're better able to help. Yes, and so don't take it for granted that somebody who is hurting or somebody who has hurt you, they just want to hurt you for hurt you. Sometimes there's something behind it, and it's important to try and get to that point. When you get to that point, then you're able to help somebody else. All right. So basically, what we're saying is urging people will hurt people, but there is a process that you can go through to help the hurt to heal. And when the hurt is healed, then you can have a better relationship. And at the end of the day, may I tell you this straight up, it brings you closer. It brings you closer. And because they both have the same mindset and have the same goal and the same desire for the relationship, it will only bring you closer. All right.
The event says something.
Thanks, guys. This really helps. Congrats.
And you're
And thank
welcome,
you. You're
Yvette. Please
welcome.
remember to subscribe
If you have not yet,
and to like and to share. And you are welcome here always,
yes.
always.
And so we'll
So
try and go back to our regular schedule now,
yeah,
if
yeah.
possible.
And spread the word, share our videos as well.
Yes, yes, yes. So
You
if
know.
you know, I mean, and if you go through the other videos we have had, I know a person who would want to,
Thank you,
something that
thank
was
you.
said, that would help somebody. You can share the link with them, share the video with them. All right.
And heal up everybody for me, Bakayade.
And
Thank you,
so
Yvette. Thanks.
and so for everyone who came
Yeah,
on,
thanks everyone.
we want to
Rowan, who
thank
is
you.
always there. Latoya, who is back in
Yes.
class.
Christopher, who
Christopher.
came on, and Yvette.
We thank
We
you
want to thank you
all.
all for coming. Those
And
who
Yvette.
we saw up to 10 persons on the live.
Yeah.
We should have at least hear from the 10 persons. But nevertheless, you're here on the live now. You just like the live, it helps the video, it helps the
Yeah.
channel.
Like before you leave.
Blessings, I live in USA.
Oh, I haven't seen you so long, but that's good. That's good to share it with your friends in your surrounding. And big up yourself every time, Yvette. Way back, way back.
Excellent. So until another conversation, until another live, we want to say, God bless.
Christopher.
Yes, 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 my love. Blessings.
Blessed love, Chris.
We want to say, all the best. We want to say, continue having the conversations.
Yes.
We want to say, trust God,
Yeah.
and He will give guidance. And until another time, see you on the other side. God bless.
Bye.
God bless.